What's up, design family? Have you ever wondered what the core measurements of a specific size are? For example, let's just say you're designing for a ladies brand and you're wondering, for my size small, what are the core measurements of the head? What are the core measurements of the neck? What are the core measurements of the sleeve, the torso, the bust, the waist, the hips? All of these things. Is there a standardized sizing guide that I can scale across international measurements between EU sizing, between US sizing, between Asian sizing, between UK sizing? Well, the good news is that there finally is at Fittdesign.com, and that's what I'm going to be running you through today is our precision fit sizing chart for both men and women. This is going to help designers, brand entrepreneurs to fit their garments to perfection, and it's going to give you a ton of data across a variety of different body types and body sizes so that you can know over 50 different key measuring points that we're going to be going in today's episode. What are you going to need for this? First, you're going to need a tailor tape, ideally with inches and perhaps even with centimeters. You're going to need something flexible made out of fiberglass, and you're going to need our precision fit sizing chart, which I have up on here, which you can get from our website. If you're a member on the channel, I'll be including this for free in the month of August. So we have our sportswear model sizing guide, men's and women's. This is specifically tailored towards the sports market. So we're accounting for a thinner waist, bigger hips, and then for the men, wider chest and a thinner waist, bigger biceps, bigger shoulders. This is what we're greeted when we land on our precision fit guide. We have two key pages that are formatted as such. On the one side, we have our women's standard body measurements on the left side, which have a variety of different measurements that I indicate. You have your head measurement, you have your shoulder measurement, you have your cross shoulder, your cross front, your bust, your hips to waist, your waist. So it goes through all of the core measurements. Anything that is a circumference measurement, that means that it is taken as a circumference perfectly aligned. So for example, Ren, if you can step in please. If I'm taking the head measurement over here, a circumference measurement is going to be all the way around like this. So that's what I'm going to need. Step away for a second. Thank you very much for your assistance. So this is what we're going to need. We have our measurements over here. And if you look on the right-hand side, we have the list of measurement points. And then on the top or on the x-axis, we have all of the core measurements. JA stands for Japan. IT stands for Italy, EU stands for UK, or EU stands for Europe, UK stands for UK, US stands for US. This also does a double whammy of showing you the conversion between sizes. So if you've ever wondered, oh, what is a size UK 6 in US? Well, a size 6 UK is a size 2 US. So this also doubles as a conversion chart. Now, where is this useful? It's useful when you are designing a garment and you want to know what are the measurements of the garment that you need to implement. If I'm designing an oversized t-shirt, I'm going to need to know for my core demographic, what is the typical bust half width or the bust measurement of a size small in my specific target demographic. From there, I can take that and I can figure out the measurement that I need for my actual garment. So for example, if I can estimate here that my size XS for a bust is 30.75. That means all the way around, I'm measuring at 30.75. If I divide that by 2, I have approximately 15.375. What I do from that is I can then figure out 15.375. Anything that is perfectly 15.375 is going to be tight. It's going to be fitted. Anything over that, I can start to go for a more relaxed and oversized fit. Then that gives me an indication of how much my chest, my waist, my bottom half width on my oversized t-shirt need to be. The same is true for the sleeve length. What do we need to do? Also, it gives me an indication if I'm working with a specific brand or a specific model that I'm fitting. It gives me an indication of what size this model represents for specific key measurements. So I'll bring back in Ren for a second and I can indicate what size her head actually indicates in my sizing chart. I'll measure her head as indicated on my chart. I can see it's in the middle of the forehead at the fullest part of the head, and I'll take my measuring tape. Her head is a size 21 or 21.125 inches. I can go into my chart and I can reference from my chart 21.25 inches for the head indicates a size small. Ren, are you a size small? Perfect. So the precision fit sizing chart works as intended. And from there, I'll know what size my model is. The same is true for men, and that's how you can use it. You have a ton of different measurements, over 50 measurements for both men and women across a variety of different ranges. We have all of our core measurements in inches because this is the most universally understood. This will save you so much time, so much effort, allow you to make educated decisions on where to measure. And now I'll go through key points of measurement so you can see what those points of measurements are. So Ren, if you can step back in for 1 second, let's look at some key points of measurement. I'm gonna measure, for example, the cross shoulder fronts. Cross shoulder fronts, I'll take my measuring tape and I'll go from middle of the shoulder blade to the middle of the other shoulder blade. Ren's measurements are approximately 13 inches for her cross shoulder. I'll note that down. And then next, I might go for her shoulder measurement. So for her shoulder measurement, Ren, please, I'll go from her shoulder all the way down to the top of the shoulder, as you can see as indicated here. And then that is a size 5. And then I might go for, that is a 5-inch measurement. I might go for her sleeve length, which is essential. Perhaps I'm designing a garment that is a long sleeve that I want to fit correctly and I want to know. So I'll measure her sleeve length and I will come out all the way. Essentially, my sleeve length will be where my shoulder measurement left off. And all the way down to the bottom of the wrist is a 17-inch measurement. Thank you very much. And of course, the same is true for all of the measurements that you see on here. Anything that's denoted with a ring would be a circumference measurement. Anything that is denoted with a straight arrow would be a straight line measurement. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. If you don't believe me, check out the file for yourself. If you're a member on the channel, well, you get this for free. And if you're not, definitely check it out. It will be well worth the time and the money that you're going to spend working with it. It will save you so much time, so much money, so much effort, creating the right sizes of samples and effectively giving you the fit that you want so that your customer is happy and you're creating the brand that you want. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Fittdesign TV. Until next week's episode, stay awesome.